Hello everybody, welcome back to another Woniu series. This is a very good matchup here today. We're bringing to you Best versus Soulkey, courtesy of our Chinese partners. I'm very excited for this series. Admittedly, it would be more excited if I hadn't already casted the first 2 or 3 games and then deleted it and was unable to recover said cast, but I put this on the back burner for a few days. I was a little bit extra busy at work and doing other things, so wasn't able to cast for a little while. You guys might have noticed the lack of videos. I've still been doing Pro League every single day, by the way, but I haven't done another Woniu series for a bit here, and that's probably a good thing because I think it's kind of gone to the back of my head now. I'm not too salty about having to redo this. I'll just be paying even more attention, and I don't totally remember what happens in this series anyway, so... Or at least for the first 2 games. Again, just the first 2 games. Such is the struggle of making YouTube, guys. It is what it is. Mistakes often happen. Most commonly audio errors and such, but we'll put that aside for now. We got Best spawning in the top center, Soulkey down here in the bottom right, and I've been very excited about Best recently, and really since last season I've been really excited for his development, his growth. Watching him with great interest, we'll say. Let's see what he's capable of. He seems to be a very well-rounded player. Like, he's very good in all matchups, I'd say. Much more so than Snow, who's really a versus Terran specialist. Best is very good at versus Protoss. He's very good versus Zerg. There are some small holes in his game when it comes to playing against Soulkey, players like Soulkey. A lot of those holes can be exposed, but overall, he puts up some great games. I had somebody on the stream ask me recently, you know, who's your favorite Protoss player? Who's your favorite Zerg? Who's your favorite Terran? I put Best right at the top of that list because he is just so exciting to watch. When I want to pick a player that I think is, that I like the most, the ones that I like are generally the ones that put up the most exciting games. So Best, definitely one of those guys, has some awesome games, and Soulkey's going to be a real challenge for him. Now, Soulkey's been playing a lot of League of Legends lately. He has also been participating in scattered pro leagues as well, but hasn't been as active recently. So, going into ASL 21, we got to get a little bit of a download here on what his level is right now, and this is a perfect opportunity to do so. Best is an absolute beast. Should be able to stand toe-to-toe with Soulkey in the late game, and might give him a run for his money when it comes to some timing attacks as well. I think the crucial part will be this early game, whether or not Best can identify what's going on with the Soulkey and whether or not he's going to be Hydra busting and stuff like that. Already catching this probe over at the natural. He's built quite a few links to deal with this initial Zealot harassment. Looks like he's going to finish off this Zealot just barely there with 1 ling remaining. Going to catch these 2 other Zealots as they're progressing over towards that 3rd base. And with the surround, we'll finish them off pretty handily. Even having another round of lings popping out saves the drones here in the natural from being harassed. Pretty solid cleanup from Soulkey. Getting rid of all those early Zealots gives him a lot of breathing room. It's going to allow him to pump drones pretty much uncontested here for a little bit. And hasn't really overbuilt lings either. Probably about 10 lings extra, which is just fine. Any Zealots that start to come out, any probes that start to come out here are going to be completely shut down. And so Soulkey can do whatever Soulkey decides behind this. Now, is Soulkey hip to the new meta here from what we've seen out of Soma? Hydralisk plus Spire is really popular, and it's very, very strong. Even players like Larva are picking up on it and driving it home that it's just so much better to have that option open and to keep the Protoss player guessing in the early game. Now Best has scouted the main and natural. He's probably going to go over there and scout the third, make sure that there's no hydrogen, but it doesn't seem like Soulkey's interested in going for this double tech style. Maybe just wanting to play the way he always has. I think that's a hydrogen that just got thrown down now in the natural, but it's much slower than a player like Soma would throw down. So I'm still curious to see, will there be some sort of pre-9-minute timing? Great catch there on the Zealot. Picking that off is amazing. It's going to slow down any extra pressure, any additional pressure here coming from Best. And allow Soulkey to just get some more drones out here before making the transition into either mutas or high. Just, oh, can't quite catch those Corsairs moving around the outside. 5 Zealot. Pressure coming over here at 7 minutes 30. Should be getting pushed back here pretty handily. A few mutas may pop out in a moment, but we'll see the commitment level from Soulkey here soon as well. Is he planning to pump out just the standard 5 mutas to try and stop this, or does he want to go a little bit heavier on the mutalist number? Best just finished up his Zealot speed, and he's barreling down on that bottom left. Ramp is going to be held here by Soulkey. This is a nice position to go ahead and block this out. We'll be losing this Overlord, it looks like. And actually, the Lings have been cleared, which opens up the Hydras to getting dove upon. Some more Overlords going back down in the bottom left corner. I'm not sure where the Scourge are at this moment. Doesn't seem to be that many Corsairs to actually gun down Scourge. Only 4 Corsairs means you can just jump on these with Scourge. And there's not going to be much of an option for dealing with that. DT coming in towards this bottom left base as well. Ooh, can he target down the DT? Looks like the Overlord's going to die here in a second. The Overlord goes down, so the DT comes right back in. I just backing away. There's the next Overlord. Can he actually get the DT this time? Oh my gosh, he can't get it. Oh, it's so tough right now. 3 Overlords have gone down at this base, and I don't know if he's got another one in production. The drones here are under threat. Overlords at the natural are under threat as well, and in fact, there's more Zealots arriving. We might see Soulkey just topple over. He's being placed under so much pressure here. I feel like this is an attack that generally would just be held by Soulkey if he was still at his previous level. It seems like Best able to bully him a little bit here after he spent so much time gaming on League of Legends and not really practicing up, not really honing his skills, or has yet to knock the rust off. I can definitely relate, guys. It is so hard to come back to Broodwar after a hiatus. There it is, GG. He topples over. Best takes game number 1. All right, game number 2. It's time to set the niceties aside here and get serious. Soulkey spawning over in the top left. We got Best down here in the bottom left. Overwhelming the Zerg early with just Zealots, Corsairs, and a DT. Really solid, relatively standard play. This is, if you play Zerg on the ladder, this is a type of attack and a type of style that you'll often meet and have to learn through much trial and error how to handle accordingly. Soulkey was not quite able to make that work in that last game. I was surprised because he actually killed that one Zealot early. And usually if you start to slow it down at all, like killing one early Zealot, it's much harder to pull off as the Protoss player, but definitely the mechanics of Best shining through in that game. Hitting the timings, having just a little bit more than other players can have. A little bit faster, and getting them to the front in a timely manner. Very well played. There is a bit of a caveat, though, right? The third base there from Soulkey was really far away in that game. That's just kind of the way it is when it comes to... oh my gosh, he gets this drone. Damn. Very good control there from Best. I wasn't really expecting him to lose that. Soulkey was juggling so much and trying to avoid the chase micro, but just couldn't break the control there, the chase control of Best. Really impressive to see. But that's just Neo Silphid for you, man. The third base is so far away. Can be really difficult to get over to that third base and defend, especially with Hydras. Like, maybe if you go mutas, you can move back and forth pretty easily, but Zealot's coming into the natural, and then over to the third, and then back to the natural again. Really, really tough to cover everything in that position. We'll see if Soulkey wants to switch up his play now. I don't see a third hatchery, by the way. No third hatchery. Zealot moves around the outside. I believe it's been spotted by the Overlord there, but Lings are just heading across the map. He's just building more Lings. Guys, Soulkey might be going all in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. More Lings are going to be popping out in a moment. There's a Zealot and a Probe heading in towards the natural now, but there are no drones in the natural at all. And there's just more and more Lings being made here. So he's going to surround the Zealot with 4 Lings back at home. Over on this side, the third Zealot pops out, but look at that. Full surround here kills almost every single Zealot. Uh-oh. Zealot here into the main. 1 kill on that. 1 Ling was killed by that Zealot. Drone micro. Pretty good so far. He doesn't lose a drone, but he's so low on economy. Soulkey has hardly anything except for a few Lings heading across the map, and the cannon is going to finish up here soon. Oh, this is dangerous. Needs to take a pretty good trade here. Kill some probes, maybe. Go after some probes. He gets another Zealot. Diving on top of the probes now. Cannon is about to finish. Link speed finishes up as well. He's on the cannon. He gets the cannon. Huge kill there on the cannon. And although there's another Zealot here with some probes in the wall, the Lings inside the main are a big problem. Another probe goes down. Another one goes down. And so things are starting to fall apart here for Bez. He really doesn't want to lose that gateway right now. Pulls probes to deal with the 1 Ling inside. Another Zealot will be popping out here in just a second. There it is. Zealot pops out. Another probe goes down. Oh my gosh, he's really starting to lose control now. But finally, the cannon will complete. And with the cannon here in the natural, the time of Lings and aggression has ended. Soulkey looks like he's going to follow up with a 2-hatch layer. That's kind of what it's looking like now. Oh, a Hydra then. Oh boy, he's just going to go all in again. Yeah, he didn't do enough damage with those Lings, and so he's feeling a bit of pressure to try and end here. Best, we'll see if how he feels. He lost quite a few probes, but he knows that Soulkey hasn't been building many drones. So does he feel like he can build extra cannons here? If he feels like, okay, I haven't taken that much damage, Soulkey is really far behind, I can build cannons here, be safe, then he should end up winning this. But if he feels like, oh, maybe I took too much damage, Soulkey's transitioning, I need to just not build extra cannons and try to catch up, he might just die here. I think he's about to build another cannon. I think he's going to start a second cannon here in the natural. If he starts a second and even a third cannon, a safety cannon in the natural, he's actually most likely going to win this game. It's just critical that you have multiple cannons here to try and stop this. He may even want to move out. Oh, Dragoon as well. Dragoon's going to kill an Overlord here in the main. Right before this attack comes in, that could actually really inhibit Soulkey and his progress. Oh my god, the Lings get by. The Zealots are moving out. And so the Lings are going to jump on top of one of these cannons. Can he get the cannon? He gets the cannon. Oh my god, it's so big. Killing off a cannon here right before the 2-hatch Hydra. That's also going to open up some supply for him. It's allowing him to build a few extra Hydras here. If he had just blocked those Lings out, I think that Best easily holds, but now he's only got one cannon, a second one warping, and he's got a Dragoon here, but it's got no range, so it's very hard to get any use out of that. Gonna run forward here, going after the cannon, trying to surround with the Zealots is Best. He gets 2 Hydras, but the cannon is gone. Another one is about to finish, but he's got to come out here and fight. He has to buy time for this. Oh, the Dragoon actually can't get past the wall. It's so rough. The Dragoon can't get out here. It's just got to kind of stand and fire when the Hydras come forward. He jumps on top of the cannon again. Cannon here at the front goes down. There's not many Hydras, actually. Only 3 at the front. 3 more cannons are about to finish here. Second cannon over by the forge is done. GG is called. Soulkey taps out, and Best holds on. Bit of a dangerous moment there for Best. First with the Lings and the run by, and then the Hydralisk follow up, but he manages to keep his cool and take game number 2. All right, on to game number 3. We got Soulkey over here in the top left, Best in the bottom right. I just played some ladder games in between these last couple of recordings, and I got back to laddering on stream today as well. It's as hard as ever and more frustrating than I remember. It is what it is. Knocking off the rust. If there's no pro league for the day, then I'll probably ladder again tomorrow. We'll see. Drop by if you want to check that out. I'm definitely embracing the suck right now. It's pretty rough. But as it always is when you come back to laddering after a long hiatus, I have to take it easy with my wrist. Try to get back into it slowly. Best over here. Gonna open up with a gateway expansion. Soulkey with a 9 pool and has a gas as well. So he's going to be getting Ling speed right off the bat. And he scouted his opponent. There's the probe. Non-stop Ling production is what I'm expecting here. You don't go for 9 pool and gas with speed and not build continuous Lings. So there's going to be a lot of pressure coming here. Best, he's thinking about throwing down a Nexus. I'd love to see him throw down a Forge right now because he saw the number of Lings popping out there. He knows that it's a 9 pool. He just doesn't know that there's Ling speed on the way. So he thinks that maybe he can hold here. But setting up a tighter wall and trying to hold right at the wall is a lot easier. He's actually pulled 2 probes. That's maybe gonna be enough here. Can he get the surround with the probes and the Zealot to try and fight properly? Okay, he's bringing down the Zealot from the ramp as well. Oh man, he knows what trouble he's in now that he sees the Ling speed and everything's been surrounded. There should be a run by here into the main base as well. Uh-oh, Best is in a lot of trouble. 3 Lings in the main base. Some probes have already died. 2 Zealots have gone down. He needs to get a surround on those Lings. Not able to get it. Another Zealot pops out, but here come the Lings from the main. Going to try to surround this. Kills 1 probe. Very nice control there from Best. Not allowing the Lings to surround there. Pushing back those Lings. Sending 1 Zealot into the main base. A lot of these are low. A lot of these Lings are low. So if he fights with the Zealot, he might lose quite a few. But the surround is good. He gets all the way on a surround on that Zealot. That's a little bit rough. Now Best is pulling back into the main base. He needs to get a cannon up desperately, but there's so many Lings here, and it is absolutely non-stop production right now from Soulkey. He's getting all the damage that he needs, and this cannon is just not going to come up, guys. It's way, these Lings are way too fast. He has to cancel. He's unable to cancel. Unable to get the cancel there. That means he loses out on 150 minerals. Very tough in a situation like this when a lot of your probes are pulled. The Zealot at the top. Oh my gosh, he's not pulling that back. He pulled that back way too late. That one zealot in between the forge and gateway should have lasted so much longer, but it doesn't. Another cannon will begin, but Lings are still getting damage here, and they might be able to just dive directly onto this cannon. Another run by here into the main base. 5 Lings once again, 6 Lings in that main. So tough to try and stabilize. You know, there's not many drones back at home. No drones in the natural mineral line at all for Soulkey. 3 probes here and a zealot just trying to save the day. Can they actually keep this cannon alive? No. The cannon goes down, and yet another uncancelled cannon. He loses all the money for that once again. And it looks like the gateway will fall as well. And once the gateway goes down, it's practically GG. There's really no way to stabilize. He calls it out, and Soulkey fires back with a game in this best of 7 series. All right, Soulkey finally finds the early game kill that he's been looking for. Able to overwhelm with Lings there. It's a risky build, but if you're able to deny the scouting and prevent the Protoss player from knowing that Ling speed is on the way, it can work out like that. Best almost managed to hold that. He was very, very close to holding, despite not going for the forge in that difficult situation. The probe pulls were very good. The control was overall fantastic, but Soulkey managed to outmaneuver him with that Ling speed. Just keep the pressure on and not make any glaring errors while continuing that pressure and mounting the pressure there in the natural. Best now spawning in the top left. Not going to switch up his game plan at all. Going directly into another gateway expansion. This time Soulkey opts for the overpool. And so we're going to see a little bit of a switch up here towards more standard play from Soulkey. Should be able to get a natural out unhindered. And he's going to scout with a drone as well, try to find out where Best is at. He sees the pylon, so he actually knows now. I'm surprised to see him send this drone up to top left after this. That's a little bit surprising to me. Going to send the drone in. And what is he planning to do with this? Oh, I see. He's going to steal the mineral patches here. Ah. Now, this is kind of a unique thing that we only see really on Knockout. The mineral patches are 0. They have no minerals in them. So a drone just mining that one time will remove it. And can actually mine both of them unless the Protoss player responds. Now the situation with the mined mineral, it means that it's very difficult for Best to hold on the ramp, and we could quite easily see a run by here. 2 probes have to be pulled to try and defend this. 5th Ling makes it over here into the natural. He gets the surround. Oh, some great micro here from Soulkey. Absolutely fantastic. Getting a ton of damage on Zell. You may even get the kill on that. Okay, barely not. Oh my gosh, it stays alive with just 11 HP. 3 more hits from those Lings and it would have gone down, but it survives for now. Can he get a run by here? Okay, puts the Zealot in the wall. The low HP Zealot goes in the wall. And Soulkey takes the opportunity to kill and run by, losing majority of his Lings, but he does get in there to the main base. And can start to roam around in here, cause a little bit of mischief. And potentially scout out what's going on and what's going to be happening with the follow-up here from Best. As it stands, 2 Zealots heading across the map. Can totally expect this as a Zerg player. That the Protoss will want to come out and put a little more pressure on you. After losing your Lings, at least forcing a few more Lings is kind of necessary. He's actually putting the Zealots out on the map just far enough so that Soulkey can't see them. He doesn't want to lose those. He just wants to force Soulkey to build a few more lings. And in fact, he's done that. A few more lings have been made here. And they will be patrolling, looking for those zealots out on the map. In fact, those are back at home. And he spotted that with the Overlord now, so he can kind of relax here. Probe running by into the natural. Is that going to be blocked? Watching the minimap right now because there's a little bit of a battle. Okay, he does get rid of that probe just as it's going into the natural, into the main, excuse me. And so denying that scout the information in the main base, very good for Soulkey while maintaining this ling constantly here in the main. Keeping it alive. What is he going to follow up with? Now that he has full information and he's denied the information from Best, will he be going for some sort of a Hydra bus? Or are we just going to see a straight up game from him? Cutting a lot of defenses and just pumping out drones as much as he can here. While Best sits back a little bit scared with a dark map. A dark and empty map out here. He's got to add another cannon most likely before he can even move out with the zealots. That's a problem. If Soulkey's sitting here making some extra zealots, and then as soon as the zealots move out, he can run by, kill the cannon, and cause a massive amount of chaos. Can't run that risk. Best is going to have to wait for the second cannon, so Soulkey going to be droning hard. You can see a fifth hatchery on the way. Looks like Hydra Den over there. No, is that's Spire at the third base? Interesting. Spire over at the third, I think. And I mean, we should be seeing multiple additional hatcheries coming up here soon. There's the Hydra Den. Yeah, that's the Spire right there. Kind of hidden, actually. You might not see that right off the bat. More hatches getting started. Second gas is already done as well. Something to note. That second gas already finished. There's a chance he goes for a Mutalist play. He might want to try to dive the main with Mutas. He's going to lose a couple Overlords, it looks like. One Overlord at the 12, one in the main base. Is he going to pop out Scourge in time to maybe do something about this? No, can't do anything. And he's supply blocked pretty heavily here. Enough lings now to shut down these zealots. Looks like they're actually all going to die. So with all the zealots going down, it takes a lot of the meat out of the army for Best, and potential for attacks ends up being reduced quite significantly. Oh, 8 HP on that. Manages to slip away. Scourge and Mutas are now out on the map. Uh-oh. Actually, the Corsairs are up in the top right at the moment. It might be possible for him to track these down. He's not seeing them for now. There's a Corsair in the main. Scourge not in position to catch those on their return flight. Best will get his Corsairs back home for free. And we're going into a relatively normal follow-up here. This is looking like a pretty standard game. 73 supply to 54. Totally okay for Soulkey. He may be pumping out some Mutas now. Yeah, there they are. About 5 Mutas is the kind of standard amount to help you deal with these early Zealots. And he's got some Scourge here as well. Oh, doesn't pull the trigger on trying to hit one of those Corsairs. So missing a bit of an opportunity there. Soulkey probably macroing back at home, maybe using the minimap to control those Mutas. And so misses a slight opportunity there, but he's controlling the skies for the time being. Not quite enough Corsairs just yet for Best to move out. You need about 7 with +1 is when you really start to feel comfortable. Looks like he might have just barely reached that number now. And so can start to come forward. He finds the Corsair, or he finds the Scourge and the Mutas. Here's a big round of Hydras. And so he's fully switching out of the Mutalist style. Pushing up to deal some damage here at the front. There's a DT out. Can he actually get that into a good position? I don't think so. Not with Overlord speed done. That DT is really not going to do too much. Uh-oh. High Templar here at the front. Oh my god, the High Templar getting blocked. Oh, it turns around. High Templar going to get gunned down immediately. High Templar with some very unfortunate pathing there. Driving forward now onto some of these cannons. He's actually going to get the Overlords as well. So Zealot's doing a great job of tanking. Allowing the Corsairs to deal their damage. High just run forward. One cannon's down. The cannon may end up falling. This is an important cannon because it covers the forge. He could potentially back up now and look for the forge. He's still standing in the front here and fighting. Best is going to be pushed back. Soulkey is badly supply blocked here. I don't think he's going to be able to crack this, because production has been halted for now. He will, however, get the forge, though I'm not sure it was in time for the upgrade. There's the storm finally coming out. There's 4 cannons remaining here and a 5th one about to finish. So it's looking like Best can hold from here. There should be more storms coming as well. Zealot's going to run forward here. Ooh, 2 cannons almost go down in rapid succession, but he manages to keep those alive. Best still roaming around, still finding damage, surprisingly. I think there's Overlords heading on the map. Oh gosh, he's actually going to find all of these, isn't he? There's 3 Overlords out here, and he's going to find all 3. Corsair looks like it may end up going down. Oh, that's some good control as well. These Corsairs. One of them ends up falling, but overall, a pretty good hold from Best. Keeping a lot of those Corsairs alive and killing constant Overlords. Keeping Soulkey supply block. Man, 53. Stuck supply blocked at 53 is pretty rough. He's banking up a lot of money, and he hasn't been able to drone. Look at the low drone count at this 4th base. Finally opens up some supply with a few Overlords popping out, but this is going to be really tough for Soulkey, actually. I don't know if he canceled, if he forced to cancel on +1. We actually need to click on one of those Zealots just to see if that was finished or not, but even if it was canceled, he's just lost so many Overlord. It's going to be really hard to regain any momentum. You should be able to produce, slip out a few drones here and there, but you still have to make enough to deal with these Zealots as well. And there's several locations that he could try to bust into. Not to mention the Corsair is going to be doing their thing as well. The natural is rather open. If you miss positions, there could be Zealots slipping by into any one of these locations. Okay, diving on top of the Hydras here at the 3rd base. This has just kind of reached a reasonable level of overall saturation, and all of a sudden, Zealots are here killing off drones and forcing Soulkey back. It looks like he's got just enough to hang on. Ooh, a drop already. He's going to go immediately in for a High Templar drop now. Best is scary, man. Best immediately going to try to just ruin the drone count that's finally coming together for Soulkey. Can he get in here? I don't see anything that's ready to actually catch this, and he's already done the hard work of clearing out the Scourge and Overlords from this location, but he's already on top of it. Look at that. Hydra's at the natural. He knows that there's a possibility of something like this happening, and so he's already on top of it. Soulkey checking the front. Best thinking better of it. He's not going to actually go in there. Instead, he's going to rotate around a little bit. Is he actually going to be able to get anything with this High Templar drop? It's looking less and less likely as Soulkey covers all of his bases and it gets into this 4-base economy. Is Best going to actually pull a trigger on this? Oh my goodness. It's kind of looking like he might, guys. I'm not sure. Maybe he wants to come out and just cause a bit of a distraction first. Yeah, fight with the army a little bit. Show that he's taking a 3rd base. Oh, Scourge coming over here. They're going to be dealt with, but he sees the shuttle. That's the important thing. The fact that he just saw the shuttle there means that he should be prepared for it. He's going to leave Hydras in that base. Make sure that he's present. whenever an attack finally comes in. Best rotating over to the bottom right. He's going to take that high ground and push down into this Zerg base. It's a very hard attack to stop. The Dragoons attacking through this location. A small contingent of Protoss is actually over by the natural. Is that going to be for a run by? Potentially could be. Observers here, but there's only the one. Lurkers have just finished up in the nick of time. They will start to burrow here. Begin to hold off this attack. First storm goes down on some of these Lurkers. I haven't seen the shuttle make any moves here just yet. Those are some interestingly placed sunken colonies. Look at those down below the gas geyser. Going to be helping out quite a bit as Best tries to push into that base. He's going to be ejected here immediately. Soulkey hanging on for now. Best thinking about still going in with this. Can't make a decision here just yet. Best has been pushed back, but he has a third and he's looking towards that fourth now. There's no hint of aggression here from Soulkey just yet. He may be going into Hive here on 4 bases. Here's the second path of attack that's available to Best right now. Straight up the middle onto the high ground over by the natural. The third base slash fourth base is a potential big target here. Coming up the ramp. Lurkers are pretty deep, but quite a lot of storms, and of course a ton of Dragoons are available. Is going to unburrow and burrow here at the back line. Try to allow the sunken colonies to take a little bit of the damage, take a little bit of the heat there. Storms on the right-hand side. The man, this left-hand side is a little bit rough for Soulkey. He's like trying to slip between the hatchery and the wall. And he's taking really big damage from these storms, and the Dragoons are very well spread. Oh, I'm not so sure about. Here comes the Zealot rally. I think that Soulkey might just be dead here. It was a bit of a tough position he found himself in, but Best is so good with these timing attacks that if he's got a little bit of an edge, he's absolutely going to run away with the game in the mid-game. These 3 base pushes are his specialty. High Templar dropped out in the midst of combat rather than into the mineral line. Ends up being a pretty good move here. And some Zealots pressuring the last few Hydras. As these hatcheries on the high ground go down, the game is going to have to end. Best's going to go up 3-1. It's kind of crazy. I know that Soulkey's been away for a little while, but I've seen his performance in Pro League, and he's definitely still strong, but he gets taken out here. The 4-time ASL champion goes down 3-1, but this is a best of 7. Best still needs to put another win on the board before he takes away this series. This here is an especially exciting game for me, not only because it's match point for Best, but we get to enjoy a super high level game between Best and Soulkey on Jane Doe, the brand new ASL map. It's quite a funky one, especially in PvZ. It really puts a twist into the Broodwar experience. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And if you're enjoying this video so far, I encourage you to leave a like on the video. Leave a comment as well. Let me know which game has been your best so far, or has been your favorite so far, excuse me. And who you think will end up taking this series. Comments and likes definitely do help in the algorithm, guys. Helps me to get my name out there a little bit more. Helps me to be able to keep making this content for you guys. And it just encourages me as well. Seeing the numbers rise, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it helps me to wake up in the morning and turn on my stream. When I'm feeling tired at the end of the day, finish off a day of work, it gives me that little bit of a boost. Seeing you guys commenting, seeing the channel grow, to get on the computer anyway and crank out some more games for you guys. Anyways, I appreciate you. Let's get into this one. Talk about Jane Doe a little bit here. Best opening with the gateway on high ground as expected. This has become the modern meta for Jane Doe. This is where the twist comes in. Gateway on the high ground. You can pressure with this, but you can also stand at the top of the ramp and defend very easily while taking an expansion, which allows the Protoss player to go directly into Cybernetics Core. They don't need to make a forge. Not for quite a while anyway. Soulkey doing what we've come to know as the correct choice here as well. The modern or the meta choice here is to block this ramp. Don't allow the probe up the ramp. And kind of make it hard for the Protoss player to figure out what's going on here, because there could be some sort of a one-base weird play coming from him. He'll have to bring the Zealot over and force his way into the main to find out what's happening. So as soon as he sees no layer, I think Best is pretty confident that he knows kind of what's going on here. Once it's been established, there is no one base build out of Soulkey. Now the game can truly progress. Soulkey likely going to be grabbing the third down here at the bottom of the ramp, that natural. And could try to open with a 4-hatch Hydra style. He could also go straight into whoa. What's going on in the main base here? Oh my gosh, he's doing it. He's pulling the drones. We saw this in KCM recently. I think it was Jadong who tried this, but it's a little bit crazy. Making a ton of lings, going for ling speed, and he's going to pull a bunch of drones and try to break the ramp. This is a little bit upsetting to me because I really want to see a longer game with these guys, but honestly, this is going to be exciting, guys. This is going to be a crazy moment here as they try to break this ramp. He's rushing up here with the drones, tries to get the drill. The drill is very nice. Oh my gosh. That Zealot got wrecked. That Zealot got wrecked as well. Can he actually get up here? I'd love to see him just drill the probe or the drones out of the way. Yeah, there you go. Drill the drones out of the way. Let the lings come up the ramp to actually fight. The drones are not going to fight nearly as well, and all Best needs to do is just buy time. He's bought quite a bit of that time so far, and the Dragoon is doing a lot of damage. Oh man, he just blocks everything out with the probe. So well played. And this Zealot is going to take an insane amount of damage here at the front. 2 lings make it in. 2 lings make it in. 2 lings attacking the cannon will actually force the cancel. He needs to build another cannon. Another Zealot here in the main. There's almost no probes in the mineral line. This Dragoon should be able to keep the probes back here, but he's got to focus on the ramp. Focusing on the ramp is key right now. He kills one of the lings. He's going to get the other ling. He's got the other ling. The other ling's going to die, and the cannon lives. 2 Zealots on the ramp. This match is over. I think the Zergs are going to have to start abandoning attempting this style of play. This all-in has just not been working well. GG is called. I think that was about as good as it gets for the Zerg player when it comes to drilling the ramp and trying to get lings up. Like, I don't know if you can do it better than what Soulkey just did, and Best showed exactly how you deal with it. Pull every drone, or every probe, excuse me, and just drill the ramp, and you should be able to hold. Really, really well held there by Best. Well, Best claims victory in the best of 7. He takes home his cash prize. And we're just going to go straight on into a best of 3. As usual in the Woniu series, if things are quite one-sided, they'll often ask the players for an extra best of 3. And this time is no different. We're straight into it. Octagon now with Soulkey down in the bottom right, Best in the top left. I'm sure that the score will be updated here in a moment. And even if it's not, I hope my explanation is clear. Nexus first, out of Best. Brimming with confidence here. And in fact, it's actually a 12 hatchery for Soulkey. So Soulkey, like the whole series has been showing overpool, 9 pool speed. It really hasn't been getting greedy, and Best should have been conditioned by this point to fear the early lings and try to be, you know, defensive against it. But he just opens straight up Nexus first. No fear at all. Kind of surprising here from Best. But he's going to get away with it, no problem. And in fact, he may be able to get the most optimized version of this build as well. So that's pretty awesome. Best is going to throw down his gateway in just a moment. Gateway straight into gas. And then into a cybernetics core without even building a second pylon. So this is about as good as it gets when it comes to early builds from the Protoss perspective. Like, you could get a little bit more greedy here. Like, he could have made the gateway rather than the cannon, and then made the cannon after, or, you know, even extended it longer if he had like a probe in the opponent's base just scouting everything. But it's risky. Like, you don't necessarily want to do something like that. And your build is going to get a little funky too. Sometimes it's better just to stay on the rails and just do the most optimized version of your build the way that you know how to do it. Anyways, Best going to be going for that now. Has the cybernetics core down. Will have a very fast Corsair. Doesn't mean that Soulkey's out of it by any means. He's got the 12 hatchery, right? Or 11 hatchery, whichever one he went for. Hatch first build is quite strong, and he is a very strong player. I hope we get a nice long game out of these two. And Octagon, it is the map to make that happen. Honestly, this is a great map. I've heard from a lot of people that they're enjoying this map more and more as time goes on, and I have to concur. It's a fun one with a lot of different variables, a lot of different ways that it can play out, especially in this matchup. But primarily what we end up seeing is long lurker lines on top of the high grounds ringing the Octagon. That's kind of the late game scenario that I've seen the most. And it tends to be the Protoss player trying to break one of the sides of the Octagon, and then the other side of the Octagon coming in to collapse and try to surround the Protoss army as it attempts to take over that high ground or attempts to escape. Encirclements are very hard to avoid when pushing through the middle on Octagon. So it can be tough for Protoss. I'm not sure if it's Zerg favored or not yet. The verdict's still out on that, but I'll be interested to see how the overall statistics end up panning out for these new maps, especially this one and Jane Doe. I think these are probably the two best maps from our new map pool. I think Attitude's alright as well. It seems okay. Seems a bit favorited towards Terran, but I digress. We have the extra hatcheries coming up here. Going up to 5 hatch from Soulkey. Going into Spire, of course, as well. Not sure if that's a... Okay, yeah, he's actually got Hydras out already. So not going into Spire. I thought he made a layer. But I might have been talking a little bit too much. Oh! Second Stargate. Double Stargate from Best. I've said this a million times, but I'll say it again. I'm not a big fan of double Stargate. Unless your name is Bisu. In which case, I approve. It seems to be that these players just, like Best, like Snow, just can't make it really work that well. Not to the same degree. Here we go. Diving in on top of the Overlords. How many can he get? One. One is not going to cut it. You need to get a little bit more than just one Overlord here. Best. Almost called him Bisu. He'll earn that title if he wins this game with 2 Stargate, but I highly doubt he'll be able to pull it off. The big problem with double Stargate is you're just super low on gas, so squeezing out some High Templars and Storm and all that is tough, to say the least. That's why he's going to need to build a lot more cannons quite a bit earlier than you usually would. Or, sorry, quite a bit later than you usually would. I was trying to think of the best way to say that, but like usually you would have... We're approaching 8 minutes. And there's going to be High Templars out here soon. Usually you wouldn't have to make too many cannons at this point, but there's a problem that the storm is going to be late, so if Soulkey was actually going to pull the trigger, it would be very dangerous for Best to be sitting here with not too many cannons. He needs to make sure he's got like 4 or 5 at least cannons. And if Soulkey were to attack, he may have to add a lot more. So Soulkey sitting back here is kind of a blessing for Best. He's trying to keep him back by threatening counterattacks. He's actually diving in right now, killing a bunch of Overlords. 2, 3 Overlords made it falling. 3. That Spore is really annoying, actually dealing a lot of damage. And you can see here, big abundance of drones popping out from Soulkey at this moment. He's really gone into a huge wave of economy. In fact, going to go up to, I think, over 45 drones. Maybe looking to take a 4th base here pretty soon. It's looking very well saturated here in both the 3rd and the natural. Is that Mutalist I see is starting to pop out here? That would be crazy to start making Mutalist right now. There still are quite a few Corsairs, and there's double Stargate production. Okay. I think I missaw. Just more Hydras popping out for now. Zealot's going to continue this poking. We're still not finding much. There's some lurkers on the way. I'm curious what's the plan here from Best. Is he just going to gear up for a 2-base timing? Or will he try to expand out a little bit after all this damage hasn't really paid off? Diving onto one more Overlord. He's just barely going to get it? No, not able to get that either. They come back in to try and finish it off, but good target fire here from the Hydras. Forces him back once again. Now the Corsair number is so low, you might want to switch into Mutas. No Spire at all. So Soulkey's going to have a lot of ground army. He's going to have a lot of ground army, but he's going to be careful. Oh, I love this from Soulkey, actually. You guys see this? 2 Hydras patrolling in the main base are actually going to identify this drop coming in. That's the real big danger, actually, for a play like this, when you don't go for Spire. That they will end up, that the Protoss player will end up slipping into your main base with a drop. Catching some more Overlords here, trying to come across the map. But for the most part, Soulkey really dealing with the shenanigans of Best very well. He's stopped that drop. He's stopped the bleeding in terms of Overlord deaths. Actually, he is supply blocked again, but he's got this containment over the natural. It's going to be very hard to break out of here. Rushing forward here, going for a snipe on that Dragoon, but eats a big storm to the face. Looks like this Lurker is going to end up going down. Pressing him back just a little bit farther. Another nice storm there. Dealing a lot of damage to the Lurkers as well. The drop is still available. It's still out there. But I don't think there's anything in it for Best to try and drop into the main of Soulkey again. Killing off a few Dragoons here and there. Best is trying to get out of his main base now. Pushing out through this natural. A few more lurkers out here, but the containment is getting further and further back. It looks like Best can slip over to the top center. At the very least, get another base online over there. Dive onto one High Templar. It does go down. High Templar has been picked off. Best trying to keep his macro going here. 129 supply, but 1,300 minerals in the bank. Just trying to get his army out of the base. He's trying to slip a probe out as well, actually. Look at this probe. Trying to get over to that base so that it can throw down a Nexus, but it's having a hard time. Sending out a drop right now. Best. Oh, boy, Best. That is unfortunate. I think he picked up a High Templar there to go try to storm drop and gets cut down on the way. Nexus at 12. Base at bottom left. Soulkey's making his move for a 4th. Is he actually going to try to switch into Hive here? Doesn't really look like that's the plan. Bearing down on this natural, trying to prevent a 3rd. I mean, it's pretty simple to set up a containment on 3 base. I don't know if he can set up on 2 base, though. Seems like Best will get this. But if he's able to put some lurkers on that high ground above the 3rd, there's a chance he can keep him contained. Oh boy, Best is actually going to break out of here. He breaks out of here pretty quickly before Soulkey can actually get set up. And so he can actually just camp on the high ground. Maybe he can't necessarily push through all this stuff. Well, maybe if he gets some good storms. He actually did a lot of damage with the storms, softening up the Hydras, allowing him to re-engage and push Soulkey back. No drones to the bottom left just yet. Maybe a transfer heading that direction here soon, though. Soulkey getting onto 4 bases and continuing to pump Lurker Hydra. This is a strategy I have yet to see on this map. So it'll be very interesting what the result is, the final result. Will Best be able to break out? Or can the containment play here on 3 bases be successful for Soulkey? It's actually it's kind of turning out the way that I talked about earlier, right? Camping the high grounds with lurkers, just trying to hold these ridge lines. But usually when I see a Zerg player holding the ridge lines, it's in more of a defensive position. Not as offensive as this on the Protoss side of the map. Usually it's on the Zerg side of the map. He's going to rush forward here with all the Dragoons. Oh my gosh, these lurkers doing so much damage here at the front line. So much blue blood here. Soulkey going to shove Best back in a very strong way. Not enough storms at the end of this fight, I think. Yeah, he needed a few more storms here. Still got a lot of Dragoons. Just pumping pure Dragoon is not quite going to cut it, though, against the majority Hydralisk army. Okay, Observer died as well, so he actually can't take this moment to try to shove everything back. Lurkers moving forward once again. Nothing to reveal these Lurkers when they are burrowed here, so Best struggling to get another Observer out is just now going to finally re-engage. That Observer is like gold. He has to keep this alive. It's worth so much in this game. Here's another High Templar. High Templar pops out and dies immediately. Not the right place to build that High Templar. He needed a High Templar so desperately. Losing it before casting a single storm is incredibly painful. Soulkey is now cutting off the supply of units from the main to the 3rd storm. Goes down as Templar goes down without casting its storm, excuse me. It's starting to look really bad for Best. This was a great storm, but Soulkey is still closing in here. And once again, the Observer is missing. There's the Observer in the back line. Can he actually get on top of any of this stuff? The High Templar is super low on energy. He's actually going to dive on that. High Templar goes down. A lot of these lurkers do fall. The Dragoon number is getting smaller. and smaller. And this may just be it, guys. Oh, he actually attacks his own Dragoon there. A bit of a mistake, of course. Bez is panicking. He's at 99 supply to the 102 of Soulkey. Soulkey pressing forward here with even more lurkers, and Bez can't believe his eyes that he has been bullied back into the natural once again. Cannot break out of this contain, even with 3 bases worth of economy. And his incredible, impeccable macro, he just cannot break out of this. And he's going to lose the last few Dragoons in his army. It was a great storm there at the end, but it's not enough. GG. And Soulkey takes this one away. All right, a fantastic game there. Containment play on Octagon. Really the first time I've seen that play be tried, that strategy be attempted, but it worked out quite well for Soulkey. Able to grind down Best, prevent him from ever getting out on the map and actually playing the game that he wants to play, the big macro game that he's so strong at. Shut down before it can truly get rolling. Best now looking to be taking another Nexus. No, Nexus first, not going to be an option here. Not with the spawning pool down in the main base. So he grabs the Forge. Forge expansion is fine here. Hard to believe that Best lost that last game with the Nexus first, man. Such a giant advantage for the Protoss player when they get away with Nexus first. Not really any, not real damage was actually done to Best either in terms of probe kills or, you know, slow down on him. But what do you know? He loses with a 2 Stargate play. Absolutely no one is shocked. Anyway, we have Best throwing down his gateway after Forge. It's a pretty tight wall. Definitely if you're playing on the ladder right now and you're struggling to wall on this map, as I imagine many of you are, this is probably the best way to go. You got that cannon nice and far forward. Can defend the Forge, keep that thing safe. And there's some space to throw down a second cannon there on the right-hand side. Looking pretty good here for Best. Soulkey taking the base over in the top left-hand corner. There's a argument for either taking the mineral only or that top left gas space. I'd say if you're really confident in your ability to win out against the early zealot pressure, I'd recommend going for that base over in the top left if you feel like you need to keep it tighter and defend a little bit more. Be a little bit more resilient in your defense, then I think making a decision like taking the mineral only can be better, but it's up to personal preference. Soulkey, obviously very confident in his play, taking that top left-hand corner. We'll see if Best can stretch him out a little bit with some early zealot pressure. He's seen that zealot moving out on the map over towards the top side, and so we'll be aware that there could be harassment coming in here soon. And in fact, that has arrived. Just pushing away these drones is a massive boon to the Protoss player. Just forcing the drones off the line, especially when you're this far away from your natural. Like, you've taken the very top left-hand corner. If you force the drones to transfer all the way back to the natural, it's insane. It's so much lost mining time. And I think we are going to see that again here. It doesn't seem like much. I know. If you're not used to playing Zerg or... If you're not totally familiar with the ins and outs of Broodwar, this is a lot of damage for the early game Zerg army. And now he's going to have to clear these zealots behind the mineral patches as well. It's just, it really does hurt. Look at how well these things are going to trade. Only about 3 attacking at a time. And they can't even target the same zealot, so... he's getting a huge amount of damage there. Whoa, these are drones spending so much time out on the map. Need to be getting to work here. Still hasn't been able to clean out these zealots, and there's the Corsair. Dude, Best is really outdoing Soulkey in this game. Soulkey just struggling to stabilize it. He's at 35 of 35. There you go. Supply blocked. 34 of 27. It's gonna take a while to undo that. Where is his Spire? It's done. Spire is done, but was he able to make a Scourge? Or pair of Scourge before that other Overlord went down? I think he should have some Scourge on the way. At least now that 2 Overlords have popped out, but he loses another Overlord. 3 Overlords is very painful. Oh my gosh, so greedy. He's going for another one. Insane greed out of Best. Is he going to be able to get away with it? Oh my gosh, he's got the Vector. He will escape. That is crazy, guys. 4 Overlords and Zealots into the 3rd again. This game is over. GG. He gives up. Best. With a quick win here over Soulkey. Wow, so Soulkey took a big risk. I thought it was less of a risk than it turned out to be. I think Soulkey thinking the same thing. Picking that base in the top left. A little bit risky. But not even having a gate first. Best is able to pull them apart with just Zealots. Not even gate first, going Forged Cannon. Or Forged Nexus Cannon into Gateway. And just rips them apart with Zealot pressure. And the Corsair timing. That's pretty impressive. Seems like Soulkey's still a little off. And would have benefited from having the hatchery a little closer. For that 3rd base. As it stands, we're now in our next game here. I guess, what is this? 4, 5, 6, game 8? Game 8, guys. Or the final game of the best of 3. With the Forge expansion here from Best once again, directly to the 3rd base. Soulkey sends his drone to go ahead and take that, assuming that the Protoss is going to find him and try to block. I think it's a reasonable assertion. Imagining that could be the case. Leads him to go ahead and just take that 3rd base. No problem there. He's going to go ahead and take his natural after the fact. And be absolutely fine. This is a nice even game to finish off on. Nothing crazy here from either player. No big advantage early for either of these 2 characters. These 2 legends of Broodwar. Going head to head for a final time here today. I don't know if Soulkey is going to be able to perform in ASL this season. I'm curious to see what he's going to be able to do. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Soulkey's play here today? Will he go deep in the ASL? I mean, we're talking the 4-time ASL champion, guys. 4 times in a row. He took a little break. He may not be as driven anymore to succeed in the ASL, but I'm curious. Is he still able to go deep? Is he still able to give these other guys a run for their money? It definitely seems like Best has a bit of an edge over him. in this series, but he's still taking games. He's not getting absolutely bodied.
这个大概率也不会去下龙塔的，这个2本有点慢。
He still seems rather
如
sharp,
果说非
but
要去走龙塔科技的话，至少要12个房子。
there's definitely a bit of rust on him as well.
这个科技偏慢。
Looks like he may be taking the lair at the 3rd base, trying to kind of hide where that's being taken, what the build is here. In fact, the lair is over here at the 3rd, so that's going to scout that with the first zealot. Lings are just in time here to perhaps prevent any damage on these drones. Just a quick pull there is going to be sufficient. Single Ling going to continue to chase the probe. And this will be a reasonable cleanup here. I believe 3 Lings died for that 1 zealot, not too bad.
这个三矿甚至这个2本，然后加上
Quite a few links being made.
发现了你是先一攻再机场，机场本来比正常要慢。
in the corner there?
这个还是会下龙塔的。看3矿是不是下了个龙塔？
知道的。
Goes down the spire over here at the 3rd.
他在耍你，老师。
他在骗骑手。
I really haven't seen too many Zerg players do this. I prefer to throw my spire at the natural a lot of the time, unless I can tuck it behind the mineral patches. Oh, it's a Hydra Den. Is he going Lurker? Why is he going Lair? Okay, it might be Overlord speed and Hydra speed and just try to bust. 5 hatch Hydra, perhaps? Overlord here in the main is going to buy a little bit of time. Bait this Corsair to not into not scouting immediately. Maybe he can make some Hydras and head it directly across the map, try to deal some damage. No, it seems like he just wants to drone. Now this should be interesting. 5 hatch Hydra build from Soulkey. There will be a spire eventually. But he wants to defend just with Hydras first. Try to limit the Overlord deaths here in the natural. Zealots are out on the map, and I don't think the Lynx have actually seen them move out. He actually just checked the natural, and I think he saw the lack of Zealots there, so he's suspicious. He's looking for them. Lynx are going to be over here at the 3rd. Zealots are coming in. Speed should be finishing any second here. He's going to pull the trigger in a moment. Some Zealots may try to run by into the natural at the same time as well. Okay, there's the Zealot speed. Diving on top of the Hydras. Pretty good pull from Soulkey to try and keep those alive. Corsairs and Zealots hitting the natural at the same time. These are so stacked. They're taking so much splash damage. A lot of Overlords could end up falling here as the Zealots dive in. Zealots just going for it. While the Corsairs are bashing down these Overlords. 1 more Corsair left over. Very good pull on those Corsairs, keeping both of them alive for now. Zealots into the main base now. And starting to kill some drones. Going after the drones in the natural, or in the 3rd as well. Just keeping this pressure on. Another Zealot comes in. More Overlords are about to die. Dude, Best is doing it. He's keeping it scrappy here. He's supply blocked. He's supply blocked. He can't make anything. Soulkey has no money and he's got no supply open. 1 more kill. Not quite able to get it. Looks like he's going to be killed this last Zealot as well. Soulkey was on the verge there of death, but he manages to hold on to keep himself alive. 39, 37. Obviously, Overlords in production here. He's waiting on those for the moment, but it seems that he has enough to stop the bleeding here. But will he be able to win this game? That was some damage. Definitely killed a lot of Hydras and maybe quite a few drones as well. Didn't get a full count on that. But it seemed pretty solid. Going to come back in once again. Can he target down the Corsair? Corsair should be able to fall. Okay. Corsairs. Super low right now. Trying to target down the DT. He can't quite get it. The DT is so low. Oh my god, it lives and it flies into the main base. Or sorry, runs into the main
过了
base. Quite a few drones being targeted down.
看到进去了吗
Right now, this DT is going to wreak havoc in the main base. It only has 7
龙场还
HP
没烧好。
and 9 shields. But it's already killed 3, 4 drones.
它有看到比的。
Definitely paying for itself there by limiting the already broken economy of Soma. Excuse me, Soulkey. Soulkey's economy.
那差能换的东西，深度就很。
More broken than our current economy, guys.
等下龙骑这一波就。
Nothing makes sense. Hardly anyone is working.
对，他有点不太适应神龙这种进攻。
The working age population has dwindled to almost nothing at this point. Best pushing in right now. Storms are available. Oh, big storm there in the middle of that group of Hydras, but a pretty good dodge from Soulkey. Does he have time after killing off that last Corsair to make some mutas and try to survive this attack? He's super low on economy. He's got barely anything. He does make some mutas. He's got some mutas here. A storm goes down, dives the High Templar. The mutas actually get the kill there and get rid of the remainder of the storms. It's just pure Hydra and muta versus the Dragoons here. Can he actually hold? It's so close. He's even pulling drones to try and help fight this. It is incredibly close right now. Diving on top of the last few Dragoons, rushing up this ramp. He is almost gonna break this. He's actually gonna win this fight. Oh my gosh, he's barely pushed back, and he might just fall apart here, guys. He is so low on everything. He needed to smash this army, get rid of everything, so that he can buy a little time to at least make a few units, excuse me, a few drones to kind of drone back up again. But it's just non-stop pressure here from Best, and eventually he will crack. Like, even if you keep trading the armies out, eventually the Protoss player is going to end up winning. Best driving the nail home here in the final game of the series. GG is called. He wins the best of 3 as well. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Best versus Soulkey, the best of 7, followed by the best of 3. Total of 9 games. It was a lot of fun. Great to see Soulkey back in the mix. Best is obviously doing great. He's looking fantastic. I would love to see him against Soma next. Let me know what you guys want to see for the future. There's quite a few different series still available here on the Woniu channel, so I'm eager to go looking through all of those, but I'll get to them in due course. Again, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.